shut up, voice. You don't deserve to be alive. And then the live stream came on. What's up, YouTube subscribers? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I am supposed to be somewhere else right now, but I'm not because of many reasons. And now my phone's gonna die, and I was ready for everything, and it just didn't work. And look at the laundry. Oh my gosh, my room is like totally fucked up. Hey, I just wanted to. This is why I went live stream, was because I'm traumatized a little bit. Me and yUMa were going to go see a friend, right? And we're supposed to be there at like 8 o'clock tonight. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I called, everything's gonna be okay to go hang out for the night and just like hang out. It wasn't a party or anything like that. It was just because we wanted to get out of this area and just like see new areas and stuff. But I spent a lot of time looking for my other friend, and he happens to be, unfortunately, in. He's also homeless. So this one, because he can't come into my house because he doesn't, because you need an ID to come into my house. So I can't really help anybody out of the goodness of my heart and just invite them into my home. San Francisco makes sure that they have to be identified and they have to be legit and approved by the hotel. So I can't really have guests in my place according to my own recognizance. Well, anyways, this guy was crossing the street, and then he was delirious from when he came out of that alley, and that alley is like a drug alley. So there's not a lot of trust there right away. So when he was coming out of the alley, I was already in a bad mood, and I was like, he was saying, help me," but he was doing it in like a really drugged out way, right? I'm making excuses for myself. Is that what it sounds like? I'm not. The facts are facts, and what I'm saying is that he was crossing the street and he was like, "Help me!" And a lot of people say that. I've gone up to people that were just like passed out somewhere, like in the middle of the street, and I'd be like, "Hey, boss, are you still alive? Are you okay? Do you want me to call 911?" And then they would wake up and start laughing at me and just like, "Ah, you got tricked because you thought I was dead." And it's just like so stupid, and that happens times. Even try to wake somebody up if they're falling asleep on the bus or something like that. You know what I mean? Anyways, so I'm sort of conditioned to not respond right away when somebody says help or whatever, especially if they're coming out of drug alley all drugged up or whatever they are. Anyways, whatever the case was, he was coming out of Larkin Street Youth Services, and Larkin Street Youth Services kind of kicked him out, probably because he was belligerent. But when this happened, he was alone. The car was going, I would say, good 50 to 60 miles an hour, and the speed limit there is about like 25 or something like that. These are not facts because these are just my ideas of what was going on. It happened so fast. I saw the dude coming from across the street, like ding, 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 and then the car was just going. It slowed down a little bit. He could have went around. Defensive driving is you see something over there and you just kind of try to swerve around it. And I'm not a racist, but I will say, uh, he had plenty of time. He could have went around the guy. There was no traffic. It was just him and the pedestrian walking across the street. And in San Francisco, you're supposed to yield to the pedestrian every single time because the laws of San Francisco always help the pedestrian before they help the vehicle. It's just the way San Francisco is, and this just how it is. So nobody ever hits anybody with a car. And I had to witness this tonight. Anyways, the belligerent yelling guy who was about like maybe 30 years old. He was tall and thin. He's a black guy. He had holes in his socks. He's obviously homeless. He didn't have no shoes. He had really tiny shorts. They were like so tiny. They were like right here. They weren't short shorts. They were like super short shorts. He had a t-shirt, and other than that, he was just like delirious. He was like coming across the street, help me, help me. And right before that happened, I was still in a bad mood. I saw him coming, and I ignored him, and I said, I know you're asking for help. I said it out loud, but I didn't say it loud enough to him, so I feel kind of guilty that I said this. But I said to myself, pretty much in a lower tone, I said, I can't help you because of this reason and this. I was complaining. I was complaining to myself. I was in a bad mood. I wanted to get to where I was going, and I was so late already, and this was just another inconvenience. Oh, okay. Freaked out. I felt my pockets, and I was like, whoa. There usually is cards there. First, there's like my ID, my driver's license, my old driver's license in case I lose my other one, which I'm going to put here in the house. I don't have a social security number in my pocket, but I leave it here at home. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm kind of like fighting sleepiness. And I also have my bank card, and I also have my Uber card because I'm a driver for Uber. And what else? And my Clipper card. So those are in my pocket. I also have a key card for Avis that I protect so much. Paul gave that to me. Thank you, Paul. Paul trusted me like several times. He may have or may not have put me through a little bit of trials. Like he tested me maybe a little bit, but I don't think he did actually. But he gave me key cards so I can take the cars to the garage instead of leaving them in the other garage where he has to send staff to go and bring them. So I do my part by helping him take it down to the garage. And I like that because I want to help Paul. Paul is awesome. He's a good guy. And so is Monday. And so is the other guy that I just can't remember ever. Actually, honestly, I don't know his name, honestly. So I'm embarrassed about that, and I'm too afraid to ask him. Kind of because he's a little bit, he's always busy whenever I'm talking to him. But Monday, I know Monday. Only because Paul says Monday. We bring up a module. Anyways, Monday's cool. I like Monday. You know a smart person when you see it. You know, like Paul and Monday are really smart, but Monday's kind of particular. He's like, he works. He just seems like a honest working guy, and that's it. And he's always nice and polite. Paul is polite too. They're both really cool. I can't say enough about them. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so then the car came just like it was a cube. So it was like, sorry, no graphics. I'm just doing this live stream. So it's coming like this. And the guy was almost across the street. The car kind of, okay, I have to put this up. The car was going like this, right? And the guy was just like this, and he was just going in circles. And the car saw him. Seriously, the car saw him. If I was behind the wheel, I know that I could have just swerved around him or honked my horn or something. Anyways, the guy just clipped him right with the side of the car, but in the front. The delirious crazy guy goes, and you could hear that, like that, against the pavement. It was so fast. And at that moment, I was all like, I don't want to help you. But it was before he hit the pavement. And when I saw him hit the pavement and I heard the sound, I just kind of like winced. And I got a message from my brain to say, pray. Ask Jesus to make sure that he's safe and everything. But I didn't heed it. I went straight to the guy and I said, can you calm down? Please calm down. Because he was like thrashing around all crazy. Blood was flying over here, and blood was flying that way. And the cube, the car, was slowing down way past him. And he wouldn't stay still. Of course, he just got hit by a car and he flipped. So he's just like, ah, and there's just like blood just like coming out of his head. He must have lost maybe a half a pint of blood or maybe a fourth pound amount of blood. But he didn't seem to be bothered by the pain or anything. And I tried to keep my distance because I wasn't equipped. I had my dog too. So I have EMT training, but I mean, like, I'm not an EMT and I'm not anything like that. I might be able to do CPR or something, but it's not. I'm not a medical first responder, but I did. I was there first and I witnessed it. So I told him, I'm calling 911. If you can, just try to stay still and just try to not move around too much because you just got hit by a car. You could have broken your neck. That's the first thing that airway, breathing, and chest. So you gotta look for like, you gotta make sure that heart is still beating. You gotta make sure that they're breathing, and you gotta make sure that they're coherent too. And like those kind of things just came to my mind, and I kept my distance. And I was trying to like tell him to stop moving around because he was just thrashing everywhere. The 911 operator got mad at me and said, "Calm down. You need to give me your phone number. You need to go to that car, get the license plate, and you need to update me on what is going on with this person. In the meantime, while you're getting the license plate, I'm going to ask you to recount what happened." So then I told him what I told you. The guy was coming out of the alley. I didn't include the drug part. I just said that the guy was coming out of the alley. He was disturbed by something and he was yelling for help. He did a full circle around that whole thing. Car was coming. He wasn't out of the way in time. The car hit him, clipped him on the side. He did a somersault like twice in there. It's not funny. And he smacked him on the cement. And he was yelling for help the whole time. The cube pulled over on the side in front of the buses, by the way. He could have parked in a safer area. Anyways, or closer to the victim so he doesn't get hit. Or so the pedestrian doesn't get hit. Stuff like that, you know. Anyways, they came all the way like a whole block away. They parked a block away, by the way. So if they could have just left if they wanted to, and I wouldn't have been able to identify them. Anyways, after that, while this is all happening, 2 police cars come to just, I guess they're responding to other people's calls or the 911 call that I was making. I was the only one that was calling 911 for him at that moment. 2 people come out of Larkin Street Youth Services. Larkin Street Youth Services is a homeless shelter for young people from 18 to 25. The cutoff is a 25. So if you're homeless between 18 to 25, Larkin Street Youth Services caters to your demographics. Something that I don't know was going on happened before the guy was coming across the street. So the staff was coming out, and obviously they were following him because they wouldn't have been there unless they witnessed or they followed him out. They claimed that he was coming from Larkin Street Youth Services and that he was denied services because he was belligerent and he was under he was not able to calm down and go to sleep. So they kicked him out. And from that point, he was like yelling in the street, and they just, I guess they followed him, but they didn't prevent him from getting hit by the car. Anyways, the lady comes up to me while I'm on the phone, and I said, "I'm on 911. Can you guys just I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm calling 911. It's just part of EMT training." Anyways, she comes up to me and she says, "I want you not to help this person because he was and she was giving me all kinds of just information that I just really didn't need. Obviously, there's an emergency going on. There's blood everywhere. He's bleeding from the head. He's delirious, and this is more of an emergency. And she can't be telling me not to help him." I said, "I'm sorry, I'm on a 911 call. I'm already helping him. So you can't tell me not to help him because he needs help. He got hit by a car and his blood everywhere. She didn't listen to me. She was like, well, I'm trying to tell you that, he came out of this place and whatever else. And I said, I didn't say anything else. The lady on 911, she said, ignore her. Just talk to me and tell him you listen to me. Go get that license plate and whatever else. So I listened to the lady on 911. I calmed down and I didn't speak anymore until she asked me questions. And she asked me to make sure that I be safe where I'm going, and that she has to hang up with me because the paramedics are asking questions and stuff, and there was already 2 units of police that stopped by. She said, "Stay calm and just go home." So I said, "Okay." And I had my dog with me, and that was it. I don't know what was going on at Larkin Street Services, but it's not. Don't. I just want to say this: is that you shouldn't let, if you want to help somebody and they're obviously bleeding from the head, or they got hit by a car in my situation, like if you want to help somebody, if you want to give somebody $1 out on the street and it's your money, if you want to give somebody some advice, and you believe that your advice can help this person or anything, if you want to help somebody, help them. Don't let anybody tell you not to help them, because what happened to street youth services to cause this guy to just like get hit, I mean, like to come out of that place and then get hit by a car, but they obviously were not looking out for him. I mean, like there was blood. I kind of, I was doing a short at that moment, and I was like, I wasn't live, and I just finished the visual part of a short, and I was gonna start, the music part of it, because I was gonna start humming and stuff. And because he was yelling out loud, help me," I was all like, oh, I should wait until he's passed by and he stops yelling. And I even said, please don't come over here. Please don't come over here. I was talking to myself about him and stuff, because if somebody's all delirious and stuff, I kind of just like, I don't want to hang out with them because I have such a voice that's just like the way it is. And I don't want to push buttons, or I don't want to like tell somebody calm down or whatever. I'm not really good at delegating, which I should be because I'm a Leo. But I mean, like, I didn't want him to come over and cause drama with me. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I have my dog with me, and we're waiting for the bus. We're late to go see a friend, and then this happens, right? So after all the emergency parts happened, and I did call, and the lady that was telling me not to help him, well, she kind of stepped afar from me. But she also had a coworker that followed her with her. That was like, she was like, "Give me your dog. I'll take your dog, and you just hang." I was like, "No, no, I don't trust anybody with my dog, and especially if they don't want to help somebody who is obviously needing medical care." Okay, I will also say that the guy, in my opinion, my true opinion is that I've been on the streets, so I know if somebody's probably on something. He had a lot of energy, so it's probably an upper. He was saying, help me," even if it was exaggerated. So that's like, what do you call it? That's uh, over. It's like making things in grand, like a huge, over exaggerating on something. It's kind of like that. You know what I mean? There's a word for it. I forgot. Catastrophizing kind of thing. And he really wanted somebody to listen to him. Obviously, he didn't check left or right before he was going across the street, and I can still see it happening, and I feel kind of guilty because I was in that moment right before he got hit, and I was refusing to reach out and say, "You're yelling for help. What do you need help? Do you need me to call 911? or what? I can't help. Other than that, I'm not rich or anything. I can like, I'm just saying like, what else can I do? I can give you some words of nobody wants to hear those kind of things when they're high or something. But I mean, like, I just didn't want to get involved, and that's my way of protecting me and my dog. But when I saw him flip after that car hit, and even before I knew that the staff came out to tell me not to help him, I kind of didn't want to, just because I didn't want to have the drama in it, and I was already late and I wanted to get there. I still am not there. I haven't even given my friend a hint about anything that's going on, or unless he's watching my live. But I mean, like, I was dealing with that, and it's not overwhelming. It's just that I'm sensitive, I guess. I don't know. I just witnessed somebody get hit by a car. So, anyways, it's just like, it was just so sad. I saw the guy, and I just felt so sad for him. I wanted to, like, find a way to get him to the hospital faster. You know, I wanted to calm him down. I had a beer in my backpack, and I was like, I wanted to just be like, here, you want a beer? But that's totally not what you should do. Don't give people bleeding from their head beer. I just wanted him to lay still and wait for the ambulance, but he was just getting up and he was getting up. When the two cops came to,